And oftentimes I've noticed that players quit out just to troll the other team. Trolls really like that stuff. If those players that are trying to troll the opposing team knew that they would be giving you something because they quit, do you guys feel like the rec center or the rec players have gotten a lot worse? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, because I remember rec used to feel competitive, even against randoms. Although we'd win by a large margin, it wasn't like we was playing against low IQ players. They just didn't have structure. Now it feels like there's just no IQ in the rec center. I'm creating this video so hopefully you can get on over to 2K. Hopefully we can get our voices heard on some changes that may need to happen sooner than later in regards to the rec center. If you guys have ideas, let me know in the comment section below. Also, if you guys are looking for players to run with on NBA 2K22, come on out and join our Discord. We'd love to have you. In my opinion, the number one thing that plagues the experience in the rec center on NBA 2K22, one of the most popular game modes, is players quitting. Last night we was playing a game, we was up by like 30, and I know a lot of you folks are already like, well, you can't go up by that much, you gotta let the other team score. We know this already, but the players are so absolutely horrendously bad in the rec center right now that we can't even let them score. We'll open up the whole court and they'll still take a half-court shot. They wait until 14 seconds left and then close app and quit the game. So how do you guys think 2K can actually combat players that are quitting out? One option that I came up with last night and I wanted to share with you guys is offer the team that is staying on an opportunity to accept a forfeit. And if the team accepts the forfeit within a certain amount of time, then the game stops right where it's at, and then 2K goes through the normal routine of showing you your stats and the amount of my points you've achieved. Within the option of accepting a forfeit, they should also present you with an option to continue playing the game against all AIs. This way, if you're having a good game, you're in the fourth quarter, there's only 1 minute left, and you want to continue, say you're only like 2 boards away from a triple double, you're only 2 assists away from a quadruple double, you have an opportunity to make that happen against a team of AIs if your team accepts the opportunity to stay on against AIs. Maybe 2K presents you with a timer or a countdown from like 10-15 seconds to make a choice to accept the forfeit or continue playing against AIs, and one or the other will go through. If the team does not accept one of those options within the time limit, I think that'd be a great way to help players feel good about continuing to play the game. Everyone's reaction, whether they're starting a game, whenever we see an AI, is like, oh man, I got an AI. Or when folks quit out in the middle or end of a game, it's like, oh, here they go, they're quitting. 2K, do you feel that emotion? Do you know how discouraging it is to play against an AI or have players quit out at the end or middle of the game, and then 2K, you don't even acknowledge that? Like, you don't tell us, are my points, stop the game, go through the motion that the game has ended and that the team forfeited. It just kind of takes you out into the locker room where you start another game all over again. 2K, you need to show the players that stay on the court that they should be rewarded for their efforts. And I got a couple other ways to reward players who stay in the game, and I also got another option that'll keep players from quitting the game. If they quit, they give you an incentive. So let's review the first idea, which is we should not lose boost. If we're not quitting the game, why do we get penalized at all? 2K, you really need to do a better job at this. Players quit out the game, we lose our boost, we lose our Gatorade. Those things cost a lot of VC, turning into IRL money, us digging in our pockets to get boost. That's not a good look, 2K. If players are quitting out, they should be penalized, not us. In other words, players, 2K, if you do not know, players are quitting a rec game so that they can keep their boost and Gatorade. For the players who actually stay in the game, we lose our boost and Gatorade. So that's one way to make sure that players do not quit. The winning team or team that stays on against an opposing team who forfeits, they should keep their boost and Gatorade. And oftentimes I've noticed that players quit out just to troll the other team. They'll start calling timeouts. Tell me you guys haven't experienced this. They'll start calling timeouts left and right just to I don't know, there's something weird about these players just because they know if they call a timeout, they're affecting other players that are online. And being that they can't affect other players online when they get the ball in their hand, they said, I'll just call timeout 8 times really quick and have everybody sit and wait through this timeout. Just obvious trolling, and we see it all the time. It's really lame. But I know of one way that'll definitely keep players from quitting out in the rec center is giving the players that actually stood in a game against a team that forfeits an additional boost. Give them Gatorade, give them skill boosts. Trust me, if players knew that if they quit out, they're gonna give you something for them quitting, they'd really dislike that. Now, I understand that it's a very far-fetched idea for 2K to implement something along this lines where they're giving players boost or Gatorade for staying in a game against a team that forfeits in the rec center, but I truly believe it's an idea that needs to be explored as an option in the rec center, because players are quitting out of frustration with their gameplay and their teammates, and oftentimes players quit just to troll the opposing team. If those players that are trying to troll the opposing team knew that they would be giving you something because they quit, they would absolutely hate that. They're quitting because they understand that it'll serve as a negative outlook against the players that stay in the game. Just like I said in the beginning, when we see that we have an AI, it's like, oh man, or if we see that the players are quitting, it's like, oh, here we go. Trolls really like that stuff. They love to have a negative effect on your energy while you're playing the game. So one way to eliminate that is to offer the team that stays on some sort of incentive for staying on. Maybe even some additional XP, maybe even a double XP token. There's so much that 2K could reward players who actually stay in the game. It'll create more structure within the rec center. More players would actually want to stay in if they know they're going to be rewarded for their gameplay. I get it, y'all. Some of these ideas are far reaching, but 2K needs to explore different options. We need a new look for the rec center. We need new jerseys for the rec center. We need a ton of new stuff and a ton of new ideas. We need innovation for the rec center. So 2K, I hope you're hearing this, because the rec center has become really popular within the 2K community. In season 6, it's become perpetual goofy mode, perpetual rookie mode. So we want to make sure that changes, because it looks like it's going downhill right now. We don't want it to get goofy in the rec center. It got really popular, so a lot of players are just getting the game and jumping right into the rec center. We want to make sure that we kind of train them on how this rec center is supposed to be played out. Man, the players and the IQ is slowly going down. I want to see this go back up, because I enjoyed my experience running the rec center seasons 1 through 5. We're in season 6, and that bunny suit has brought out all sorts of goofiness. So we want to make sure that we keep that stable. Grow the rec center. We don't want the rec center experience to regress. We want progress for the rec center. Hopefully you guys found this video helpful, informative, or even interesting. And if you did, please consider dropping a like on the video. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, as we intend to have a ton of 2K22 content coming your way. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Easy, y'all.